Another important topic during my conversation with Ambassador Jamieson Greer, potential tariffs on the movie industry. President Trump is weighing a 100% tariff on movies filmed outside of the U.S. Here's what the trade representative had to say about that.
When a film is produced somewhere else, that means that the workers, the staffers, the caterers, the construction workers, not just the actors, but all of those folks, they're being employed overseas. So right now, we're looking into an investigation to get to the bottom of these foreign trading practices, take a look at why films are going overseas as opposed to staying here, and take action as appropriate. We want to get to the bottom of this issue and try to fix Hollywood, as the president says.
I want to bring in someone who knows the ins and outs of Hollywood and movie production, actor Zachary Levi. Thank you so much for joining us. So let me get your reaction right off the top to what you just heard there. President Trump says that he wants to consider a 100% tariff on movies that are made outside of the U.S. He says our movie-making business has been stolen from the United States of America by other countries, just like taking candy from a baby. So, Zachary, what do you think of that?
I mean, listen, he's not wrong. You know, productions have been fleeing for a long time. They've been going to Canada for decades, and now Europe has incredible incentives. And there's also really no unions that you have to deal with, for the most part, out over in Europe. And so the cost of production is significantly lower, and therefore, you know, the industry is going to keep going there. We're going to keep having runaway productions that go to Europe. But I do think that this is a very... this is a tricky thing because film is not like a factory that's making widgets. It's not like we're offshoring jobs that could be here, you know, very logically. There are films that need to be shot in Europe sometimes. Sometimes that is the backdrop. Sometimes you need to tell a story that takes place in the UK or takes place in Spain or takes place in Italy or something like that. So I think that we have to be very careful about how we're implementing that stuff. I think that it would be far more advantageous if President Trump were to look into incentivizing, as opposed to penalizing productions that are going to Europe or other places in the world, incentivizing productions to stay in the United States. In the same way that there are states that have incentive programs. Texas just passed an incredible filming incentive program there. Lots of other states in the United States, Georgia as well. If there was a federal incentive, there was something that, and I'm a libertarian, by the way. I don't like to tread into these waters too much, but I do think that if we want to combat
we don't want to
losing
get you
these
in trouble.
jobs to other countries, no, we don't. But if we want to combat losing these jobs and this income and this industry to the rest of the world, then I think that it would be advantageous for us to look at some kind of a federal incentive program that lures these companies back, that lures these productions back.
Yeah, well, we know this is a president who likes to do a little bit of both of those things. So, you know, that could be on the horizon as well. But it sounds like, Zachary, you're ready for movie production. I know that you are building a huge $100 million studio in Austin, Texas. With all the bells and whistles, it sounds like you're going to be able to accommodate some of these productions. So tell us a little bit about that. What made you want to go down that path?
I mean, the long and the short of it is when I started working in Hollywood 26 years ago, I saw behind the curtain. I saw how all the sausage was made, and I was really heartbroken because it's ultimately an industry that doesn't really care about the audience and it doesn't care about the artists. By and large, I think there are many people that work in the industry who do, but the system itself is corrupted. It's broken. It's been broken since the beginning. This is why Charlie Chaplin and Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks and all those silent era OGs started United Artists because they knew that the artists were being taken advantage of and they needed to have more agency and more control over their product and being able to, you know, take care of themselves and the art. And I think we've needed that ever since then. I think that we are in dire need of a studio, an independent studio that really values the artists, really values the art and the audience. I think that, you know, so much agenda has been infused into all of the content that we watch on all of the different streaming platforms and all of the theaters. And I think people are really over that. I don't think we want all of that agenda just forced down our throat. I think that we need to create a place where independent artists don't need to be beholden to the broken system. And so I've felt this calling on my life for a long time. More than that, I think it's imperative at this point, particularly with AI. AI in the next few years is going to eviscerate my industry. It is going to already, I mean, you can look at what's happening with Sora and Google VO and all of these things. I mean, it's becoming almost impossible to tell the difference between what is real and what is not. And that's going to affect news. It's going to affect everything, right? So I think we need to create a space that really holds the line and protects human jobs in the arts and entertainment. I believe it's imperative that we do something like this. And I also think that I really like what I'm building at Wyldwood and outside of Austin, Texas, and people can go to wyldwood.com to learn more about it. But Wyldwood with a Y, by the way, WYLDWOOD. But it's a factory town for arts, for the arts and sciences of entertainment. It's, similar to Hershey's, Pennsylvania. Once upon a time, a guy wanted to make chocolate. Well, he needed homes for his workers and schools for their kids and clinics to keep them all healthy and well, because the happiest bees make the tastiest honey. And I think that's what we need, and that's what I'm building, and that's what I'm hoping to get people excited about and invested in. So, yeah, it's needed now more than ever.
Well, we like the idea of no agenda being shoved down our throat, Zachary. For sure, we can get on board with that. And I'm all for humans instead of AI as well. So we like the sound of all of that. Zachary Levi, thank you so much for joining us on My View. We really appreciate your time.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.